Fusion. Ha!
Oh, gee. Times 30 through the whole anime, man. Look. Oh, gee. It's gonna be stuck in my head till I die. You know what I'm saying? Man. Wow. Beautiful, chaotic confusion is the 3 words to describe this anime, man. Casshern Sins was wild. It was a wild roller coaster, to say the least. I don't even know where to start. So let's start from the beginning. What is this joint about? What is Casshern Sins about? It's about, first off, look, this anime was just confusing from the jump. Like, you're just like, what's going on? Like, what? What's going on here? Bruh, look. Dude wakes up. Something wakes up. We don't know. We know it's a man. He's like a man. He looks like a man. Every episode starts with like flashbacks. And you're just like trying to piece the puzzle together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like wild. And so he wakes up, doesn't remember anything. He does not remember anything. He just wakes up into a desert, into ruin, right? And quickly we learn that it's robots on this world and there's humans, right? We don't know what he is, but we do know that there's robots on this world and it's human. And really, we don't even know there's humans on this world, to be honest, because from the jump, you think he's a human. So by off looks of him, you're like, oh, he's a human. And then there's the robots around him. So like, oh, snap. This is crazy. So then he wakes up. He has no clue of what he's done, who he is, what his name is, nothing, right? Instant beef when he wakes up. Robots after his neck. They know it's a seal on his chest. Casshern! You know what I'm saying? They trying to fight him. So he has to defend himself. And he's like on autopilot defending himself. He's going crazy. Look. That's the basis of what it's about. You have a man who wakes up, a man / whatever, question mark. You have a question mark wakes up, doesn't know who he is, what happened, anything, and he's just going through his journey of figuring everything out. That's the recap. Now it's time for the spoilers. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to talk about this thing. Look, this plot was crazy. Like, they did a great job. First off, this anime was back like in 2008, 2009. They did a great job of structuring the plot of just confusion. Like, when I was watching this, it made me feel like I was in a perspective from somebody who really just doesn't know what's going on. Like, he literally has no memory of what's happening. What did he do? Who he is, where does he want to go? Where's the answers at? You just don't know. Like, you're genuinely following a path. Like, now my brain's looking back after watching all those episodes, like where he started and how he ended. It's two vastly different Casshern. Like, this show was wild. It was really wild out here. And like, off rip, my favorite character gotta be what's her name? Ringo. Off rip, my favorite character has to be Ringo. Ringo was the cutest little robot human I've ever seen in my life. Like, bro, like, Ringo's energy is the type of energy we need in this world. Straight up. Like, she was just so cute. And it was just like, yo, Ringo, I love you. Like, energy towards everybody was just great. When she didn't feel like something was right, she was like, You know what I'm saying? Like, she has a good feel, good vibe of everything. I love Ringo. And like, it was this anime was wild, man. This anime was wild. Like, I don't even know like how I feel. Like, this anime to me was a great watch but I wouldn't recommend it for somebody to watch, if that makes sense. Like it's a good in between seasons watch for something else you're watching. Like you're just like, oh, I'm gonna pick this up, 24 episodes. Let me just watch and see what this is about. That's that's what this anime is good for. Like it's like that, like because the plot was consistent. It was good, but it was kind of skippy. Like and some things didn't make sense. One thing that did not make sense to me. Oh, gee. Okay. Oh yeah. Let me go back real quick before I get to that. So we found out that Casshern is like a robot. He's a robot, but he's like a humanoid type of robot, right? Because they didn't really go into depth with this, but I think like him, Dio, and Leda were like all type of special humanoids that could reproduce, right? And we'll get to that in a little bit. And like Casshern is like Casshern. It's like a killing machine when it comes to robots. He got hands. He is absolutely destroying these robots. Any size can get it. Y'all getting busted. Simple. Like, y'all getting busted. Like, no chance. No chance for y'all. Say goodbye. So, he has this one mode in him that where, like, if he feels like he's going to die, he automatically turns up. And when he turns up, say goodbye. Like, his eyes get blue, you're dead. You're done. You're cooked. But anyway, so the reason that they're in this situation is because he, in the past, went and killed, what's her name? Luna. He, in the past, killed Luna, right? He was like, who is Luna? So this whole time, they were saying Luna was like the sun and the moon, right? And like as if she was like some god of life. That's what they said the whole time, but we found out towards the end that Luna was actually like the god of death out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know that Dune was labeled as a god of death, but technically she was one because here's the thing. Let me break it down to y'all. So, Luna, in the original, before Casshern went there and killed her, right? Luna was like the person that gave you death because the world was like robots and humans, and the robots were eternal. Like, you know, they don't die. They're robots. They don't die. I think humans were just like normal cycles and dying and stuff. So like Luna would bring robots death who didn't know about death. But then when Casshern went to go kill Luna, their little bloods got mixed up because he was like the death guy. And then she was, he was a life guy. And look, life, death, boom, whatever. Their bloods got mixed up, right? And it spread. Like she got killed. So like all the death inside her got spread out.
Dang, now that's deep.
To where it made everybody not eternal. Like it made everybody have like a human life. Like you know who got lifespans? It gave robots lifespans. So they called it the ruin because they're not used to this. They're used to just living forever. So they're like, whoa, we actually have like our time limited? That's tough. Right? So that was like the whole thing. So like all these robots, somebody spread a rumor to the robots that, oh, Casshern, if you eat Casshern, you get eternal life. That's not true. So who spread that rumor was the recent emperor or the recent ruler of everything was called Breaking Bus. It was the name of the dude, and he spread that rumor. I guess this has caused beef and stir up trouble. Not sure. You know, this is one of the things where you got to chop it up for this to be in 2008. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you got to chop it up to because it really just wasn't making too much sense. Why some people were doing the things that they were doing. So, Casshern was just like, he didn't even know his name, but people just kept saying like, Casshern, you're Casshern. And he was like, oh, I'm Casshern. I don't even know what I did. You know what I'm saying? Because he has no memories or nothing, right? So it was just like a bunch of layers of that. Like he's just figuring things out as he goes. And all he knows now is that whoever follows him dies. And he's like, wait, so this ruin happened because of me. So I must be a bad person. But really, that's not the case. And the reason he killed Leda, was it Leda or Lena? Luna. Well, the reason he killed Luna was because Breaking Boss. He worked for Breaking Boss in the past. Well, he really didn't. So OG worked for Breaking Boss. And OG was the one who designed the humanoids, right? So then he went and killed Luna. Casshern did that because Breaking Boss ordered him to through OG. You know what I'm saying? So like he went to go assassinate her and so he did that, but then she never died. But they all thought she was dead, but she didn't really die. And she was up in her temple, and she was healing folks still. So she went from giving people death to now giving people eternal life. It was crazy. Tough. Very, very tough. So these are things that didn't make sense. One of the things that made sense was OG. So OG was the guy who made Casshern, Dio, who was like Casshern, Leda, who was like Casshern, but they were all just kind of different in their own little way. So what did make sense to me was how throughout the jump, OG was always driving. And it's just like, where are you getting gas from? Not once have I seen this man stop for gas. That bothered me. I know there's like some little minute detail. You're like, what? That really bothered you? Yeah, but like, it's like, you never stop for gas. So like, how you keep driving around? Like, what's going on? So that's one thing that bothered me. The other thing that bothered me is like, in certain scenes, it was like, it'll be three people, right? It'll be Liz, Casshern, and Ringo. And they'll be walking. And then Casshern gets on some beef or something, or Liz gets on some beef or something, and the other two disappear. It's like, do we not have the budget to keep people drawn in? Like, how are they disappearing? Like, their Lily was just right there. So, like, where they at? Like, one scene was like Casshern and Luis, and then they were chilling, fighting or whatever, and then Ringo just disappeared. Or Friendler, he disappeared. Like, Friendler was a dog. So it was just like, that to me was just like weird. It was just weird layout with that. And then the last thing was when Ringo, Casshern, Luis, they were all on that one island, right? OG, I don't think OG came there yet. But anyways, there was the three little kids. For those who watched the anime, it was three little kids who weren't really kids, but were kids, little kid robots. And they gave Ringo something. It was like a gem or something to Luna, or like some energy. They never explained what that was. I don't know if I missed an episode or something, but that was never explained to like what that was and why they give it to Ringo. I know Ringo's pure and all, but it was just like, I understand that. So it was just like a bunch of just like tidbits throughout the show that you're just kind of like, that could have been explained a little bit more of like what's going on, but it wasn't. So that's tough. And so Ringo, so here's my theory about Ringo. Ringo, I think, would be Leda and Dio's baby.
Yes!
Oh,
Yes,
darling.
I'm front-loading you!
Oh, yes, darling. Oh, darling.
What? What the fuck?
Because Leda, throughout the show, just kept rubbing her stomach and shit. And it was like she kept having these visions of like motherhood and stuff. And it was just like, I think that's their baby. Like, I think that Ringo's their baby. And for context, OG found Ringo when he was just like out there scavenging and stuff after the breaking bus threw him away. Out there scavenging, and then he heard Ringo crying. And then so he went there and then got Ringo. He took care of her ever since. And so I think Ringo was like a humanoid too, but she was like the first robot to be born from two robots. Because I don't think robots can make other robots like that, right? But they were humanoids, so they're able to reproduce. So I thought it was crazy. And I think they made like a little mention of that because like one of those OG was like, oh, I tried to make y'all so y'all could reproduce, and I failed, but I don't think you really failed because I think Dio and Leda hooked up because they were like a little couple or whatever. And so here's the thing. So let me break down all the characters for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me break down all the characters. Let me get a little bit closer. So let's start with, so I said Casshern, demon, you know what I'm saying? He's beating everybody. He's going crazy. He can regenerate because he has eternal life. He has eternal life because he killed Luna, which gave him eternal life, and he can't die. Simple. He's not affected. He can't die of death. You could squish this man. Literally, you could separate all his body parts. The blood and all his stuff will just come back together eventually. Very painful process, but he can't die. He's eternal. So that's one. Litsu, I'm not saying her name right, but it's whatever. So she was the sister of Luna's bodyguard, right? That Casshern had to get through to kill Luna. GG'd her. And then I guess the sister survived that. And then Lisa was taking care of her sister, but she got inflicted by the ruin. Now the ruin, like I explained, was like, the ruin's like a disease, right, to robots because they're not used to dying. So the ruin is kind of like them passing slowly, basically have their lifespans applied to them. So like each robots' lifespan is different, like us in real life. You know what I'm saying? So like they're dying off slowly but surely. So her sister died off, and so she was just like, I'm blaming Casshern because Casshern about to ruin Among Us. You know what I'm saying? So boom. So she went through, like throughout the show, she went from like wanting to kill this man to realizing he didn't know what happened because he literally woke up with no memories. He literally woke up with no memories. So she was to like go attack him. She's like, wait, you don't know what happened? He's like, no. So she ain't find no joy in that, right? Because she was like, well, if I try to kill you, one, you already want to die because you feel miserable right now. Two, it doesn't really mean anything because you don't even know what you did. It's like punching a kid that don't even know what they did, and you're just like, well, I'm just punching you just to punishing you, but like you're not gonna learn your lesson. You probably just gonna do it again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things. Like, so she's like, look, I'm gonna watch you from afar, and I'm gonna kill you once you know. But then you know how it always goes. The over you try to watch people from afar and stuff, you end up falling in love easy. You know what I'm saying? So she ended up falling in love with Casshern, and then she died through the ruin at the end. Very sad stuff. Tough. Dio, tough. Dio was fire. So Dio was like the same as Casshern, right? But he just wanted to kill Casshern so bad. He just wanted to beat his ass so bad. Like, he was cold with the hands. So all his life goal was to beat Casshern, because in his eyes, Casshern has always just was one step ahead of him. And he was just like, I can never be as good as you. I want to take you out. Simple. Like, it was okay on some hater stuff, but in the same sense, it made me emotional because like he knew his passion, he knew what he wanted, and he was out there trying to get it. He was over there trying to accomplish it. So like that was just tough to me. Like it was just like when you have such an ultimate goal, it was like Hunter x Hunter with Kurapika, and how like he was just like, yo, I'm going to stop the Phantom Troop for what they did to my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just sold his soul for that shit. And I was just like, you got to respect that because their sights are so direct and linear. It's just like, I'm focused on this one thing. This is what matters to me. I'm waking up to do this. He was waking up to get his fair ones with Casshern. And I respect that. I respect that. So at the end, when he was battling him and like he landed his little blow, his little punch, and he ended up dying to the ruin too. Shit, I don't know what I'm saying. It made me cry. I'm not gonna lie, I started crying. Leda was his female counterpart. She wanted like world domination, kind of like him, but he really wanted to smoke with Casshern only. She was trying to convince Dio to want the same thing she did, but Dio was like, look, I just want to beat Casshern's ass. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do none of the stuff you're talking about. I don't want eternal life. You know what I'm saying? I don't want none of this. I just want to beat this nigga's ass. Simple. Like, I mean, I have never, it's like that one SpongeBob episode with the man Flats who just wanted to beat SpongeBob up the whole episode. Like, I've never seen one man be on such a linear track mentally to really give somebody the pause. Like, it was really crazy. So then she got like in this long, intertwined just journey later of like getting to Luna and trying to exploit Luna's powers for eternal beauty, and it just did not work. Like she got what she wanted per se, like she got eternal life, but it was like it morphed her body to where she was ugly and she was bad. Like she was good looking, you know what I'm saying? But after that, GG's. She looked like a little troll. Like it was over for her. So like she was all desperate. She was all like what's the word? Depressed and all that because one, Dio died, right? And two, you're ugly. So not only do you have eternal life, now you ugly. You ain't got no kid. And now Dio's dead. Tough. So now you just by yourself.
Damn.
Tough. Say goodbye. So that's her. OG. Once I said OG was the guy who made all the humanoids. You know what I'm saying? He went crazy. He's a nice little scientist right now. His death was sad too. He died to the rust or the ruin. Sorry, he died to the ruin. OG was low-key a hater in the beginning. Like he was like blaming Casshern too, and it was like, why you blaming Casshern? Like why are you blaming? Like you made him. Like instead of like pulling Casshern to the side and be like, yo, I made you this that whoop whoop whoop. We had to go like down like 10, 15 episodes for us to like have to be revealed to us. Like, oh, you the scientist behind all this. You know what I'm saying? Like he could easily just filled him in, but instead he made him do this long ass journey. It was just like, whatever. Like tough. And Ringo, like I said, was a little humanoid baby, so cute, great energy, all that. You had Breaking Boss, who's the old leader and all that. He had a little fight scene with Casshern at the end. He got his ass busted. Simple. So that's the main basis of it. That's the main characters. I mean, you had Doom, who's the god Death, who's the bodyguard of Luna. He was hard. He had some hard fight scenes in there. He ultimately ended up dying to the rune and just getting jumped by some robots. Tough. Very tough. But the overall anime, bro, like the overall message of the anime was just like so fire. The reason it connected with me because like you think about life and how, you know, on paper you say, oh, if I have eternal life, I could live forever. That'd be great. But really when you think about it, it's like, if you could not die, would you really appreciate the time you had? Some people might say yes, but I can guarantee you a lot of people will say no, because when you can't die, you just be doing whatever. The days will become the same days, months come same months, folks around you be passing, getting older, dying and stuff, and you just be alive. You're just like, man, everything's just the same every single day, you know? And it really showed how, like, when you do have your time limited, how much you make of it. And it was just like, that was like the overall line thing of the show, is like when them robots' lives really got shook up because they were so used to being eternal. And then once they started dying, they were like, man, the feelings of love, excitement and stuff really do matter when you're on the end of it. You're just like, man, this is tough. This is tough. And so I thought a cool little line was like, at the end, so Casshern, he went to go kill Luna again. After he learned everything, you know, throughout the process, he was learning everything, and he started forgiving himself. And that was like a really big thing as well. Like, he understood why he did what he did and how it impacted the world, but like what life actually meant and what passion actually meant. And he was like, you know, death is not that bad. Death is actually needed. So he became basically like the angel of death. Like, he was like, I'm going to be out here. I don't want to fight nobody, but Luna, if you build this eternal army and they forget about what dying feels like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show them what dying feels like. Like, real talk. Like, he's basically saying, like, I'm forcing you to enjoy your life, basically. Like, you're not taking living forever for granted. Not on his watch. It ended with Luz and OG dying. And then Casshern, after he confronted Luna, killed Breaking Boss and all that, he went his separate way. And then Ringo and Friendler. So Friendler was a robot dog, which he did not explain who made him. See, there's a lot of stuff they did not explain. So they didn't explain who made him, but he was like a robot dog that couldn't be affected by the ruin either. We don't know why. So he, after his owners died or whatever, not his actual owners, but whoever he was riding with, the little robots, in the beginning, they died. He was rolling with Casshern. And then Casshern left them two to go confront Luna and kill her again, which he didn't end up doing. And then so Ringo and Friendler grew up together. And so Ringo at the end was obviously a grown up. So tough. She was like, well, she would have grown up. She's like 15. She was 14. She's like a teenager. And that's essentially it. It was quite an experience. And that's what the anime was really about. Like, him going to different towns on foot, meeting a bunch of different robots, humans all along the way, and really just seeing like what life is, like seeing it from like a more of a baby perspective, because he had no memories. It's like having amnesia and you have to learn everything over again. It was crazy. And the soundtrack was fire. The soundtrack on this anime was absolutely fire. Now I'm doing this, my head's going through like all the different episodes and different stages he went to. Like, bro, this anime was actually fire. Now I think about it, it was actually fire. Tough. Fight scenes, good. Plot, good, but missing explanation pieces. It's missing explanation pieces in the plot. Character development, really good. I mean, you got to see, it was one episode where we were just going through illusions in her head, and she was going through everything. Like, she was seeing her sister die over and over and saying, kill Casshern, and over and over. You know, it was a lot going on with her. Like, that joke was crazy. what's that? Fight scenes, plot, animation was smooth. And like I said, it was like the older 2008 kind of vibe to it. And I don't even know what to give this. Like I said, like it was like one of the most confusing yet fulfilling animes to watch that I've seen in a minute. I'm just gonna give like an 8.8. And the reason I'm getting 8.8 was it was a really good watch. It was long enough. It was 24 episodes. The message was really good. And the only issue was, or the two issues was the plot thing I said, like the little feel, like we just needed a little bit more information on some things. And two, like I couldn't recommend somebody watching this because it's not like something you grab the popcorn, like I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go crazy. I'm ready to watch this. Instead, it's just like a really smooth, good action, kind of between seasons type of anime. So I gave it 8.8. I enjoyed it. Casshern. Oh, gee.